Hello YouTubers, Ted here in beautiful Côte St. Luc, Canada, bringing you another Forge of Empires video. In this video I'll revise my city, change a lot of the buildings around, and also tell you some stories about buildings in my city. So here is my city. This is my main city in my main world, Feldrank here. I haven't changed the city in a long time, at least not significantly. What I mean by that is that every time I age up, I'm changing my production facilities. So these are my supplies production facilities. I'll change some goods production. I do a little bit of goods production, although most of it happens automatically from special event and other buildings. And maybe I'll change, well, definitely I'll change my military units. I'm in Space Age Jupiter Moon right now. I still have Space Age Venus, that's the previous era, military buildings here. And that's partly because I'm still working my way through the Space Age Jupiter Moon tech tree. I've gotten a couple of the military technologies here, so in fact I could upgrade to some of these, but I think some of the best technologies are still to come. In any case, there's not a whole lot of difference between the Space Age Jupiter Moon and the Space Age Venus military units. And in fact, I like a lot the Space Age Venus Power Dragon, that's the artillery unit, because it has power shot, which allows it to ignore it allows it to shoot flying units, which the artillery unit of Space Age Jupiter Moon cannot. And so it's a very reliable and versatile unit, along, of course, with rogues. In any case, except for this sort of part of the city, which I keep updating as I go with each age, a lot of the city hasn't changed in a long time. So these Terrace Farms have been here for ages. These cider mills have been here for ages. This row of crow's nests and asylums and world's fairs, these boats, a lot of this stuff has been here for a long time. I added this row of Stage of Ages relatively recently, and I've mentioned that, I believe, in the previous video. And I've been futzing around a little bit with some lower age goods production just because it amuses me. Okay, but for the most part, things have not changed in quite a while, and it's time for an upgrade. So what am I going to upgrade? What am I going to change? There's a few things. First of all, if you see these statues of honor here, I'm going to keep these statues of honor around because these generate some goods for the guild. That's fine. But connected to them, I have all these roads to victory, which are generating goods that I don't need anymore. Space Age Mars goods, virtual future goods, what else? Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's pretty much all that. There might be a Space Age, Venus here stuck in somewhere. But I don't need those previous age goods. If I look at my goods holdings here, you can see that in the previous age and the ages previous to that, I've just got piles of goods, plenty. And so I don't need to keep producing those. So I could sell, although it hurts me to sell things that I could never get back in the future. So I'm probably going to store all of these roads to victory. Okay. In fact, let me show that right now. Let's do it. Let's not just talk. Let's have some action here. So I need to get out my store building. It's going to be expensive to spend a lot of my buildings, my store buildings, but I have 66 of them, and what the heck. So let's just put away all these. I'm going to zoom in to make sure I don't make any clicking mistakes. And let's put away these things. Store, 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 store. This is going to generate a lot more space. Now, I'm not sure exactly what I want to use that space for. Maybe I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm pondering several options and I'm not even decided now as I make this video. So it's possible, in fact, that I will pause in the making of this video and come back to it in a few days or sometime when I have a clearer idea of exactly what I want to build. Store. But this is going to generate a lot more space. I'm storing a lot of things. Okay, so that alone generated a lot more space. I could build a lot of things here. But let's keep going. There's other things I want to store. Let me just bounce out of this mode for a second. But what did I have my eye on? Oh, I noticed the other day that I have a Space Age Venus Champions retreat. Now, I wasn't using champions even when I was in Space Age Venus, and I'm not going to use those champions now. So let's store that. Actually, I could sell it. I'll store it. What the heck? What else should we get rid of? So some things that I'm certainly not going to get rid of. I like, of course, the Sun Temple, which comes from the Aztec settlement. Tholos of Idols, I could store. I'll tell a little story about this building. You know, when I started playing the game, which was about 4 years ago, I believe, I saw a lot of the advanced players have Tholos of Idols, because at that time it was quite a good building. And it's still not such a bad building. Is this 3x3? I'm having a little trouble seeing so clearly. Let's just move this for a second. Is it 3x3 or 4x4? It's 4x4. Yeah. So it was a good building back then because you're producing 4 forge points in 16 squares. So it had a 4 squares per forge point efficiency, which back then was pretty good. It was as good as those Shrine of Knowledge, which I used to have so many of in my city. So it was generating as much forge points as a Shrine of Knowledge, plus it was generating metals and generating goods. But, you know, these days, a 4-to-1 ratio, a 4 efficiency is not very good. These cider mills that I have down here, whoops, I was trying to pick it up. These cider mills, which I also might get rid of today, have a 3-to-1 efficiency. I mean, I'm saying efficiency, but, you know, you want the number to be lower. You want to have fewer squares per forge point generated. Maybe efficiency is not the best word. And these Terrace Farms, I believe, are 30 squares, and they're generating 12 forge points. Terrace Farm lever 2. And so that's a 2.5 efficiency. So that's even better than the cider mills. So one question is, why do I have cider mills instead of building more Terrace Farms, which I could? I'll tell you 2 stories about Terrace Farms. First of all, I remember getting my first Terrace Farm, and I was so excited. Because Terrace Farms, you can get them from a Temple of Relics award, a relic, but I think more commonly you just get them on the 4th level of Guild Expedition. And I remember at a certain point when I started completing Guild Expedition, you know, it took a long while until I was playing well enough and generating enough goods, because back then I was negotiating to get the to finish Guild Expedition. And then once you're finishing Guild Expedition, you have a chance some weeks of getting a Terrace Farm at the very end, I believe it was, or maybe there was a chance earlier too. Anyways, I was so excited because, again, back in those days when I looked at the good players' cities, they had Terrace Farms, bunches of Terrace Farms, maybe 20 Terrace Farms, some of the ones I saw. And that, by the way, I think was level 1 Terrace Farms, not level 2 Terrace Farms. These are level 2 Terrace Farms. Or I could be wrong. Yeah, I think that's true. I think I was seeing a lot of level 1 Terrace Farms, even back in the day. Anyway, I was so excited when I got that. And I built some, although a level 1 terrace farm is not really efficient compared to a Shrine of Knowledge, I think. I'd have to go back. Maybe it generates +7 forge points in 30 squares, so that's, well, yeah, that's not quite a 4-to-1 ratio. Anyway, a lot of players had them back then, and they were cool, and you could only get them on GE level 4. And so I was excited when I got my first one. And I was even more excited when the game changed to include a Terrace Farm upgrade, to upgrade it to level 2, because then it really became a much better building in terms of forge point production density than Shrine of Knowledge, than a lot of other buildings. And I was madly doing Guild Expedition every week, hoping to get the Terrace Farm upgrades. And it took a long time. It was really frustrating. I had bad luck. In my diamond farm, so you can see here I've built 5 level 2 Terrace Farms. I could build more. At this point in my storage, I have 10 Terrace Farm upgrades. So I could build 10 more of these. And I got loads and loads of the Terrace Farms themselves. But I haven't built them. Maybe I should. Maybe I should replace my cider mills with Terrace Farms. That would make sense, purely from a forge point density perspective. But anyway, when I was trying to get these Terrace Farm upgrades, it took so long. And ironically, in my other main world, I don't have another main world, but the other world that I play primarily is a diamond farm, and I have no intention of building Terrace Farms there. And in that world, I was lucky, and I got so many of them. And even today, you can see here in this world, I have used 5 Terrace Farm upgrade kits, and I have 10 stored. In my Diamond Farm world, where I have no intention of using them, I have 25 stored. So I've just had bad luck on these Terrace Farms for a long time. Anyway, a little history for you. So what else do I want to do? At this point, I could store these cider mills as well and replace them with Terrace Farms. I could also just store the cider mills and forget about, just pass up the forge point production they make. I could replace them with Stage of Ages, because I also have a bunch of Stage of Ages stored. I show here. I have 14 Stage of Ages. Stage of Ages don't have quite the forge point production density of a cider mill. They have a density of 4 to 1, which is not great. But they also produce attacking power for the army, which is excellent. And they produce previous age goods, which I don't really need, but, goods could be useful. So I'm thinking, this is one of the buildings I'm thinking of building in my big revision, and it could replace cider mills, or I could just build a bunch along here where I made space from my Roads to Victory that I removed. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I have another Terrace Farm here. So I've gotten 16 Terrace Farm upgrades in this world. So I don't know. Maybe what I'll do, I might post this video. Not many people watch my Forge of Empire videos, which is fine. But maybe I'll post this video and get some feedback from people on what I should replace. Because I'm really not sure what I want to do. I could probably put away Tholos of Idols. I'd hardly miss 4 forge points per day. Every time when I harvest all my forge points, it's almost 800 per day. It's not quite 800, which is, I don't know if it's a lot or a little, but it's more than I need, or it's not even clear I need any. At this point, so many of my great buildings are they're all at least level 60, and many are at level 80, including all the fighting ones are at level 80. And lately I've just been raising up some of the less useful ones, just because I got to put my forge points somewhere. I mean, I really don't. There's such diminishing returns to adding levels to an already high grade building. I don't feel a big compulsion to generate forge points. But I could do that. I feel some compulsion to strengthen my army because I'm finding in Space Age Jupiter Moon the fights are a bit tougher, and so it'd be good to have more attack strength. Some other buildings I could easily put away are, I'm looking for where they are. I must have hidden them somewhere. Okay, well, I got some of these. Face of the Ancient, which is not bad. 3 attack bonus in 4 squares, regardless of what age you are. It's not the best. If you get a nice event building these days, the attack bonus you get per square is closer to 1 as opposed to 3/4 with these buildings. Although these buildings, I have put them next to roads, they don't need roads, so technically that makes them a little bit better. I could definitely replace these Gates of the Sun God, which are giving defense for the attacking army in 4 squares, because I've really been focusing a lot more on Sentinels, which give +4 in 1 square, so 4 times the efficiency of a level 2 Gate of the Sun God. Should I remove those? I could remove those and replace them with Face of the Ancient. And let me just look here and see what else I might want to replace. Yeah, this one's okay. It generates goods for me. Space Age Asteroid Belt. Maybe I should update that. This Water Pagoda. Again, Space Age Asteroid Belt. If I updated it to the current age, it would generate me a few goods. This generates even less goods. So I don't know, I could put away some of these buildings as well, but then do I really have something I want to replace them with? I'm realizing as I make this video that I'm really quite uncertain what I want to do here. Although I did enjoy telling stories about my buildings. Ooh, I want to tell a story about these ships. Maybe I'll wrap up with this story about ships, and I'll make this video, post it, and see if anyone wants to give feedback on what other buildings I should store and what I should replace them with. We'll see. Although I'll bet I don't think anyone's commented on any of my Forge of Empire videos yet. Even my most popular videos are from this game I played years and years ago called Weapons Throwing RPG 2. Those are my best watched videos, and even those, after like 7 years, hover around maybe 5,000 views each, and maybe, they'll get 1 comment per year or something like that. Anyway, let me tell a story about these ships to close out this video. And then I'll take some time off to really think about what I want to do here. I think one thing I will do, let me show you one more thing just to produce a little more action in this video, as it were, and then I'll end with the story. I'm going to move Tholos of Idols back to here. And one thing I want to do, just again, because it amuses me, is I want to produce more goods, low-age goods. And so maybe an easy way I can do that is I'll just put some crummy road here. And I'm currently generating Iron Age goods, is it right? Let's see, yeah, weaving mill. Oh, and some early Middle Ages. I had built, because if you look at my goods, the early age goods, I don't have much of. About a month ago, I built 4 of the 5 of these Bronze Age goods productions because I had the boost for them. Just enough to build up some goods and do a little bit of trading so I could get at least 1,000 of each. I'm in the process of doing the similar thing for Iron Age, and I want to do it for all these low ages. Why do I need low age goods? Not really, but I just like goods somehow. They appeal to me. For many years I was a negotiator and a trader, and I just like it. So it amuses me. So I'm going to actually rebuild now some Bronze Age productions, and maybe I should even start building some High Middle Ages as well. So let me show that. I'll do that just for some action here. Go all the way back to the beginning. Vineyard. I don't have the boost, is that right? Yeah, because there's supposed to be a big check mark. Lumber mill, I do have the boost, so let's build a lumber mill. And stonemason. Oh, that thing is big. 4x4. Dye works. There might be a smarter way I can arrange these things. Marble. A weaving mill, Iron Age wool, I should have. It's here. Limestone mason, don't have the boost. Iron, I have it. It's up here. Okay. Where was I? Iron. Jewelry, don't have the boost. Ebony, it's here. And alabaster, I think that one's down here. Okay, maybe I'll reorganize these to be in some together part of the city later. And granite, I don't have the boost. Gold, that's early Middle Ages. Do I not have a goldsmith? Wait a second. Wait a second. Alabaster. Do I not have a goldsmith? Because I have a bunch of gold goods. Where are they being generated from? See, I have gold. I have the feeling there must be a gold thing somewhere. It's not up there. Well, I could check with Forge of Empires helper, but then I have to jump out of this full screen view and things get ugly. So, I don't know. I'll build one. What the heck? Goldsmith. Copper. And let's see what else we have. Honeycomb. And salt. Oh, that's High Middle Ages. So I'm going to build a beekeeper. And then at this point, I have goods production, all the goods productions that I can do from Bronze Age to Iron Age and to early Middle Ages. So that'll be fun. And I'm just going to let those crank for a while and build up some of these low-age goods. Okay, so that's part of what I decided to spend my space on. But I have more space. I could store more buildings. I could store cider mills and replace them with either Stage of Ages or Terrace Farms, depending if I want more fighting or more forge points. I probably want more fighting. And let me close then with my ship story. So these ships. When I first started playing the game, and again, I think it was 4 years ago. I think it was the summer of 2018. I was very new to the game. I didn't know much what I was doing. The summer event happened. So the summer event is going on again now, although it's in September of 2022. Okay, it's a bit later, I think, because they had some other different special events scheduled. Someone's spinning the wheel. Governor's Villa. That's one thing I'm after, but I'm not going to try to steal it from them. I believe that if someone is actively spinning, it is impolite to try to grab something at the same time. So I wish them good luck in getting that Governor's Villa. And I'll tell, in the meantime, my story about the ships. So I was doing the summer event and, going through the quest and so on. At a certain point, I got a quest that said, buy forge points. Okay. Now, I generate now so many forge points. Why would I ever buy any? And even back in those days, why would I buy them? But I thought buy meant money. And you can definitely spend money to buy forge points. Where is it? Is it this thing? I even forget how to do it, and I've never done it. I've never spent money on this game. Maybe I should feel guilty about that. Some of the other people I raised this with my guild lately, and some of the other people in the guild say, we don't really need to spend money on diamonds, but, we just like to throw some money in the direction of the developers to support the game. And, that's a fine attitude. That's great, actually, to support something you like. I've gotten quite a bit of pleasure out of this game for 4 years, and I've never spent a cent, which I think is amazing. And I don't even have to watch ads either, because there's not ads on this thing. The problem I have is I have money. That's not the problem. The problem I have is where to draw the line. If I allowed myself to start spending money, where do you draw the line? If I eat a piece of cake, I want to eat another piece of cake right away. If I eat potato chips, I want to eat more potato chips right away. So I don't eat those things at all. And in the same way, I don't want to spend any money on this game, because where does one draw the line? So anyway, when I was doing these events, in the summer event 4 years ago, it came to one that said buy forge points. And I thought that meant I had to spend money. And I didn't want to spend money on this game. I'd only been playing, I don't know, a few weeks or a month or something at that point, not long. And so I just didn't do it. I didn't do that event. I stopped progressing. I didn't do that quest. I didn't progress on the event. And I didn't collect the main reward, which was a ship or the upgrades to build one of these ships. And I only understood later, sometime in the fall, that you could, quote, buy forge points. I mean, I can't do it now, actually, because I have a big wad of forge points sitting here. But normally you can press here, and you can just pay virtual gold, for forge points. Or you could spend diamonds for forge points. I mean, generally it's a much better deal to spend the gold. But if I recall correctly, I can buy forge points right now. And the price goes up every time you buy, but it just goes up by some fixed increment. I don't know, 500 gold or something like this, or 50 gold. Or anyway, I think the price of a forge point is something like 20 or 30,000, and I have 28 billion gold. So, I mean, the price would go up, but I could start buying forge points for 1/millionth of their current price, and I could buy a lot of them. The deal is generally not so good when you spend diamonds, because it's much harder to get diamonds. I have 23,000 diamonds and 28 billion gold, so which one's the better deal? Anyway, I later learned what it means to buy forge points, and I later, was doing the events correctly, and I was getting the event building at max level. And I was very pleased during my second summer event in, I believe, summer of 2019. I could be getting the years off by one. I was very pleased that although there was a different special event building in that summer event, you could get the old ship upgrades. And I was so happy, because I'd always kicked myself for not understanding the game and not getting the cool boat that I wanted. And I was so happy that second summer, when I knew how to play the game correctly and I got the upgrades I needed, and I built a boat. And then subsequently, in other years, I got so many upgrades that I was, or selection kits, that I was able to build one of each kind of boat. So the pirate ship, the trader ship, and the royal ship. I have the full collection. Okay, so anyway, that's my ship story. That's my update about revising the city. I didn't do all the revisions I could. I would love feedback or suggestions, but you got to see me store away my roads, which were generating upper age goods. I replaced them with some good building to make lower age goods, which I don't need either, but they're just fun to have, and I don't have as many of them. And I'm going to think about what to do with these cider mills, Tholos of Idols, maybe a few other buildings. I don't know. and whether to replace them with forge point productions, so more stage 2 Terrace Farms. I could build as many as 10 more, not that I have that much space free. I mean, plus I haven't planted my Heroes, I forget exactly what it's called. I haven't planted my Heroes Tavern, which was the reward from the last event. Oh, maybe I'll do that now. You can watch it. And so that'll take up some space. I'm not going to leave it here because this is where is my sort of scrap territory for building buildings. When you have to build buildings for a quest, this is my sort of scrap zone. So I'll put it here for the moment, but it's not going to stay here. So I'm interested in feedback. And as soon as I get this up to level 10, that will conclude the video. So level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8, nine, and 10. It's a pretty nice building, isn't it? Cancel. 27 defense, 21 attack, 11 forge points, and it's 20 squares, is it? So pretty nice building. All right, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.